Hello and welcome to Euphorian. In today's video, we'll explore the flaws inherent to human thinking. Specifically, we'll delve into the psychological biases and patterns of thought that can be detrimental to our decision-making process. Some of these biases arise from the way our brains are wired, while others are influenced by external factors such as societal pressures. Additionally, we'll touch upon the misconceptions that stem from faulty cause and effect reasoning. Our aim in this video is to identify and discuss 7 common but harmful ways of thinking that may be holding you back, with the ultimate goal of helping you develop better thinking habits and increase your productivity. 1. God will help me get more money, status, and power. The concept is simple. Capitalism and spirituality cannot go hand in hand. Being religious or spiritual means you subscribe to the idea of kindness, charity, selflessness, and compassion. Where capitalism is as simple as this. You can hoard as many resources as you can by working, and you can spend all of them on yourself on lavish things, knowing very well this money could have been used to help someone who is suffering badly. While capitalism is probably the best and only practical economic system, and there's nothing wrong with creating wealth, it is certainly not selfless to subscribe to this idea, and you certainly cannot expect God to help you with this. You also have to consider that there are people worldwide, including children, who are at this very moment suffering in extreme ways. So asking for a supercar while knowing that most of those starving children and people dying of poverty won't have their prayers granted is not very reasonable. How can you expect your prayer to be granted instead of theirs? And your answer might be, God operates in ways we cannot understand, which brings us to our next flaw. 2. Using infinity to justify irrational thinking. This one isn't as complicated as it sounds. It only means that sometimes you will find yourself and other people trying to win an argument using logic such as, since we don't understand the entire universe and its every aspect, maybe my irrational and delusional thinking ultimately makes some sense in the grand scheme. Using this logic to justify anything even outside religion is simply bad logic. And this does not mean that any wild theory you come up with can be justified, since it cannot be proven wrong. It might be hard for some people to believe, but a lot of people use this kind of thinking. For example, a person might argue there's a worm ruling our galaxy, and since we do not understand the universe in its entirety, this might be true. As absurd as it sounds, if you observe yourself, you'll see yourself using this logic in very subtle ways in life. 3. The bad and sinful people are punished and suffer in this world. This is a prevalent thinking error that individuals often fall into when they do not possess the power to achieve justice on their own. This can also mean thinking that your suffering is due to your wrongdoings. What you have to remember is that, of course, scientifically this doesn't make any sense. But even according to all religions, Satan is the king of this world, which means he rewards evildoers in this world and gives them power instead of good people. Suffering arises mainly from weakness and not from wrongdoings. Take Kim Jong-un, for example, or his father. Both are evil. Both have made the lives of millions horrible and have murdered many people. Yet they will live in comfort and die in comfort. Whereas on the other hand, a hard-working, honest woman might be suffering 1,000 times more than these dictators. It's simple. These dictators don't suffer because they are powerful, and the honest lady suffers because she lacks power. The crux of the matter is suffering has nothing to do with wrongdoings or sins. 4. The 1111. This flaw comes from the notion that I'm special, and the universe is guiding me into achieving my goals. So people think that if they see these numbers such as 1111 or 444 or 1234, etc., that means the universe is signaling them and trying to tell them something. Remember, our purpose in this video is not to convince you to start or stop believing certain things, but rather just point them out to you, so if you have the ability, you can adapt and change. 5. I'm special. Let's be honest, all of us have felt this way. While there's nothing wrong with respecting yourself and thinking of yourself highly, this flaw in human thinking is in most of all, if not all of us. This can range from thinking you are smarter than the rest of the people, you have a special connection with the God, or even that you are the center of attention, and people are watching your every move while the reality is far from it. You must realize this world doesn't run on being special, but working your way up by thinking smart. And this can also lead to a belief then that others are also special using the same logic, and people succeed because they have talents, or they are special, and this can be very counterproductive. So if you want to get ahead of the masses, then stop thinking like the masses do. All 7+ billion people feel they are special. You should tell yourself you are not special. and that what you'll get in life will depend on how you perform your work instead of your innate special talents or abilities. 6. Hard work is never wasted. This is most likely the most destructive concept out of all the ones we've mentioned. While it is true there are times when you must work hard and not give up on something you're chasing, this does not apply overall in life. You cannot get ahead in life based on hard work. In the long term, only smart thinking works. There are people in this world who work just a few hours from home, doing the work they love, and they earn in a month 1,000 times more than what an honest, hard-working person would earn in a decade. Thinking that hard work rewards you will always keep you poor. The way to get ahead in life is much like chess. You have to make the right moves. This belief also extends into religious territory, where people think they will be rewarded for working no matter which field or area they work in. This is not only unfair to ask or demand, considering that you shouldn't be rewarded for something which is of no use to humanity, but it's also a lot like a child throwing a tantrum demanding to be rewarded regardless of whether it performed well in an exam or not. So avoid this bias and save yourself years. 7. Karma. What goes around comes around. This Buddhist belief just means that if you do bad, you will be punished when your actions come back around, and the same will happen if you act good, you'll be rewarded for your good actions. This stems from the faulty correlation between cause and effect. But again, you can only escape these mental traps if and when you're ready to do so. No amount of knowledge and information will convince you otherwise before you've been through some things and grown as a person, so our job was to point out these biases and mental errors to you. If we can be useful to even just a person, then we'll consider our job is done here. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.